My beloved child, if you have come here, stay for a moment, because this moment is not by accident. Something is shifting between heaven and earth. A sacred current has been stirred, and the universe is leaning toward you. Heaven has waited for this exact moment, not sooner, not later, to whisper to your soul, your time has come. Last night, in the stillness that seemed meaningless, something took place. No one saw, no one heard, but the hands of angels stirred the atmosphere around you. When you chose silence instead of reaction, when you restrained your anger to preserve peace, you did more than a small act. You altered the frequency of your soul. You have just stepped into a new realm where prayers once thought forgotten are beginning to be answered. Archangel Michael says, "My child, there are doors that strength, intellect, or strategy cannot open, only peace can." When you chose stillness over striving, you placed the key into the lock of destiny itself. The door you didn't even know was closed has now begun to open. The angels around you rejoice, saying to one another, "Finally, that soul understands." You no longer need to fight against life with your own might, for your peace has become your weapon. In this world, silence is often mistaken for weakness, but in the kingdom of heaven, silence is authority. It is not surrender in defeat, but surrender in trust. Trust that God is working even when you cannot see it. And when you choose faith instead of resistance, you invite the full power of heaven into your life. Michael continues, "I have seen you bow your head when you were misunderstood. I have seen you choose love when you were wounded. In that very moment, a new record was written in heaven. Lines of light are engraving your name into a new chapter of destiny, a chapter of restoration, elevation, and freedom. There have been long seasons that seemed unending, but today, the skies are shifting. The sound of heaven is calling your name. The old has passed away, the new has come. Understand this, my child. Not every battle is fought with swords. Some victories come only when you sit still in His presence. When you stop trying to save yourself, God steps in to save you in His own way. That is why the energy within your soul shifted last night, because you finally let go, allowing Him to take hold. Now, angels are moving all around you. They have not come to warn, but to proclaim. They carry letters of blessing, heavenly replies to the cries you poured out in solitude. Something is shifting, not in imagination, but in divine reality. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but your spirit can feel it. The rhythm of your heartbeat is changing, aligning with the frequency of heaven itself. Do not leave, my child. Stay a little longer. For when this message reaches its end, a sign will appear. It may be a gentle knock. My beloved child, if you have come here, stay for a moment, because this moment is not by accident. Something is shifting between heaven and earth. A sacred current has been stirred, and the universe is leaning toward you. Heaven has waited for this exact moment, not sooner, not later, to whisper to your soul, your time has come. Last night, in the stillness that seemed meaningless, something took place. No one saw, no one heard, but the hands of angels stirred the atmosphere around you. When you chose silence instead of reaction, when you restrained your anger to preserve peace, you did more than a small act. You altered the frequency of your soul. You have just stepped into a new realm where prayers once thought forgotten are beginning to be answered. Archangel Michael says, "My child, there are doors that strength, intellect, or strategy cannot open, only peace can." When you chose stillness over striving, you placed the key into the lock of destiny itself. The door you didn't even know was closed has now begun to open. The angels around you rejoice, saying to one another, "Finally, that soul understands." You no longer need to fight against life with your own might, for your peace has become your weapon. In this world, silence is often mistaken for weakness, but in the kingdom of heaven, silence is authority. It is not surrender in defeat, but surrender in trust. Trust that God is working even when you cannot see it. And when you choose faith instead of resistance, you invite the full power of heaven into your life. Michael continues, I have seen you bow your head when you were misunderstood. I have seen you choose love when you were wounded. In that very moment, a new record was written in heaven. Lines of light are engraving your name into a new chapter of destiny, a chapter of restoration, elevation, and freedom. There have been long seasons that seemed unending, but today, the skies are shifting. The sound of heaven is calling your name. The old has passed away, the new has come. Understand this, my child. Not every battle is fought with swords. Some victories come only when you sit still in His presence. When you stop trying to save yourself, God steps in to save you in His own way. That is why the energy within your soul shifted last night, because you finally let go, allowing Him to take hold. Now, angels are moving all around you. They have not come to warn, but to proclaim. They carry letters of blessing, heavenly replies to the cries you poured out in solitude. Something is shifting, not in imagination, but in divine reality. You may not see it yet with your eyes, but your spirit can feel it. The rhythm of your heartbeat is changing, aligning with the frequency of heaven itself. Do not leave, my child. Stay a little longer. For when this message reaches its end, a sign will appear. It may be a gentle knock, a wave of warmth passing through you, or simply a deep peace you cannot explain. That is not coincidence. It is confirmation that heaven is with you. Remember, Michael does not speak of luck, but of destiny. There are things you cannot force, but you can activate them through faith. When you believe that God is working, you allow His power to flow freely into your life. And today, that is what is happening. Do you recall what the Lord said in Romans 8:28? All things work together for the good of those who love God. That verse has now become the pulse of your soul. Everything that once hurt you, discouraged you, or made you fall, God is now weaving it into a new story. A story you will one day tell, not with tears, but with joy. Know this, my child, not a single moment has been wasted. Every silent prayer, every time you chose peace when you were wounded, every tear you shed in confusion, each one was a seed. And today, those seeds are beginning to sprout. Your patience has become the most beautiful worship before the throne of heaven. Michael said, do not look for signs out there, for the sign is already within you. The peace you feel right now, that is the evidence that heaven has touched you. There is no need for fireworks or thunder, only a stillness so deep that every fear dissolves. That is the voice of the Holy Spirit whispering, you belong to me, and I am doing something new. You may not yet see the door open, but you will sense the first breeze passing through its frame, the breath of transformation. A new chapter is beginning, not one you are striving to write, but one being penned by the very hand of the Creator. My beloved child, be brave and keep walking, for from this moment on, every step you take is divinely guided. The things that were once delayed are now being released. The prayers that seemed suspended in mid-air are being brought down. The roads that were once blocked are being cleared. And in this very instant, as you read these words, the energy of heaven is filling the atmosphere around you. Do not fear, for nothing is truly lost. What appears shattered is only being reshaped into something more beautiful. God does not take away to leave emptiness, He takes away to renew. And Michael, the archangel of victory, is guarding you, fighting for you in the unseen realm. While you sleep, He works. When you are weak, He stands strong in your place. So lift your head, take a deep breath, and let your heart know that you are no longer where you used to be. You have been lifted to a higher level of faith, where human effort ends and grace begins its work. Believe not because you see, but because you know. And when you leave this page, walk with the assurance that something has been activated. A divine chain reaction has begun. Encounters, opportunities, healing, and miracles will follow, one after another. Heaven never sends a word without fulfilling it. Archangel Michael leaves you with these final words. You have endured enough. Now it is time for you to see the fruit of your faithfulness, not because you were perfect, but because you remained steadfast. Prepare yourself, for the blessing will not come with noise, but in quietness like dawn breaking through the night. My dear child, the first signs always arrive gently, a cool breeze on a hot day, a sudden peace flooding your heart without reason, or a fleeting glance that softens your spirit. Do not overlook these small things, for heaven rarely announces itself loudly. God's angels come in silence not to impress, but to awaken. When your soul becomes sensitive to that presence, you will realize what seemed like coincidence was actually divine orchestration, and what appeared random was in fact a message from above. There will be moments when you are walking down the street, and suddenly a number, a phrase, or a song reaches you precisely when you need it. Your spirit knows it is not by chance. The angel Michael is sending signals, reminding you that heaven still watches over you. It may be a butterfly landing on your hand, a soft breeze brushing your cheek, or the quiet whisper of your name within all our ways heaven touches the earth. And then comes the deepest sign of all the transformation within you. When the things that once frightened you no longer shake you, when cruel words no longer wound you, when you can look back at your pain without anger, that is when light has entered your soul. Heaven does not always send signs to the outside world. Sometimes, the clearest sign is the change happening inside you. Archangel Michael says, when you stop searching for a sign, that is when the sign will come. For as long as your heart is restless in its longing, you will miss the whisper of his voice. But when you cease running, stop demanding, and surrender your need to control, the light of heaven can finally pour down. It is in stillness that God writes his miracles. My beloved, I know you have asked, how can I know that heaven is truly working for me? And Michael answers, look at your peace. If your peace is greater than your worry, that is the sign. If your heart believes even when your eyes do not yet see, that is the sign. If you can pray without fear, that is the sign. For nothing can bring true peace unless heaven has already intervened. You may not have yet received what you asked for, but you feel lighter, more trusting, more patient. That itself is the miracle. Because a miracle is not always the change of circumstances, but the transformation of the heart. When you are changed, the world around you changes as well. And when heaven sends a sign, it does not come to astonish you, but to prepare you. For before every great blessing, there is always a deep preparation within the soul. Michael says, know that true blessings do not come from haste, but from readiness. God never gives what he has promised before you are mature enough to hold it. Therefore, the sign you see today is heaven's message to you. You are ready. Sometimes, that sign is an unexpected open door, an invitation, an opportunity, a chance encounter. But other times, it is a door that closes. My child, do not grieve when a door shuts, for in heaven's kingdom, closed never means ended. It means redirected. When God closes one door, it is because he is leading you toward the one that is truly yours. Michael says, a no from heaven always carries within it a greater yes you have yet to see. And then you will realize every loss that once brought you to your knees was only the prelude to a triumph. One day, when you look back, you will see that every pain had a purpose, every delay was divine timing, and every tear you shed watered the garden of blessings now blooming in your life. The signs of heaven are not just given so that you may believe, but so that you may remember you are never alone. When your soul is weary, he sends a friend to comfort you. When you are about to give up, he sends a gentle reminder. When you feel weak, he sends a song, a verse, or a shaft of light piercing through the clouds. He always finds a way to let you know that he is still there. My dear one, sometimes the greatest sign is hidden in the waiting. God's delay is never denial. it is refinement. In the waiting, your faith is forged, your patience strengthened, and your spirit opened. Remember, God does not measure love by the speed of his response, but by the depth of his presence. If he allows you to wait, it is because he is near. One day, you will wake up and realize that the fear which once bound you is gone. You won't even know when it left, only that it is no longer there. That is a sign. For every miracle happens quietly. Trees do not grow in noise, but in silence. So does faith. It takes root in unseen places, on days when no one applauds, no one notices. Yet heaven records every heartbeat of your trust, and when the appointed time comes, the greatest sign will no longer be a feeling, but an event. Something will happen sudden, yet perfect. Everything will align, every piece will fit. You will exclaim, "Lord, now I understand." And heaven will smile, for what was long ordained has finally come to bloom. My child, let your heart be still. Do not seek with your eyes, listen with your heart, for when your heart is calm, you will hear the footsteps of angels passing by and feel the breath of grace surrounding you. The signs of heaven are not found in outward miracles, but in the resurrection within. A soul that has been touched will always know it is living in a season of light. Michael concluded, saying, "If you are reading this, then you are the sign. Your existence, your faith, and the tears you have shed, all are proof that heaven is at work. You do not need to look up to the sky to find him, for he is already looking at you. And it is that gaze which is changing the very atmosphere around you, my beloved child. I have seen the tears you shed in the night when no one was watching. I have heard the sighs you tried to hide so no one would know how weary you were. You thought you were walking in darkness, unnoticed, unseen, but heaven has seen it all. Heaven has never turned its back. Every breath you held in, every whispered prayer through tears, has been etched upon the eternal tablet of time. Not one tear of yours has fallen in vain. Each one is being gathered and transformed into blessings that will be poured out at the appointed time. You have walked through seasons that felt hopeless, days when faith was no more than a fragile thread keeping you from the edge. Yet it was in those very hours that heaven was working hardest. When you saw nothing, when your prayers seemed lost in the void, that was when God was laying the foundation for something great. There are miracles that do not shout aloud but quietly take root beneath the soil of trial. And now, the seed of your faithfulness is about to bloom. Michael says, "You have not been forgotten. You are simply being hidden to grow in the light of the Creator. Just as a seed must rest beneath the earth, your soul is being cradled in silence so that the roots of faith may grow deep. Now the ground trembles not because you are about to lose something, but because blessings are rising from the very place where you once wept. My child, pause for a moment. Do not scroll past. Do not let your mind wander. Everything is aligning when you stop and listen. A stream of light is flowing through your soul, gentle as a breath, yet strong enough to shift destiny itself. Your focus is the doorway through which miracles enter. When your heart turns fully toward heaven, divine energy responds instantly. It is not luck, it is the convergence of heaven's will and the human heart, the sacred moment when the divine plan is activated. There were those who doubted you, those who secretly hoped you would fall. They saw your weakness but did not know you were being refined. But Michael says, "Fear them no more, for their energy cannot pierce the light surrounding you. I have placed a golden shield around your name, radiant, alive, and impenetrable. It does not merely protect you from envy, it reflects love's light back into the world. From now on, anyone who tries to harm you will face the darkness within themselves. As for you, be still, for I fight on your behalf. The peace you hold amid the storm is not weakness, it is power. Serenity is not the silence of fear, it is the voice of faith. When you choose not to react, you have chosen heaven's side. And in that very moment when you hold back harsh words, when you smile instead of striking back, when you forgive instead of demanding justice, the heavens open. You think no one sees, but God sees. He records every act and turns it into a key that unlocks hidden treasures of blessing. My child, know this: something great is drawing near. It is not wishful thinking, but the true movement of the divine realm. A call, a message, a door that seems coincidental, all are being orchestrated. The connection from heaven is already in motion, like background music before a song begins to rise. Open your heart wide, for blessings do not come to the doubtful but to those who wait in trust. Heaven speaks, you have not lost, you are being realigned. Everything that once felt crooked, tangled, or broken is now being set into place. You thought you were going in circles, but you were actually walking the right path. Every turn you believed was wrong has been used to lead you to this intersection. No loss has been wasted. No delay has been in vain. Everything that once caused you pain has been preparation for this very moment, the moment of affirmation. Michael says, blessing comes not when you run fast, but when you stand firm. You have stood firm through storms, through whispers of doubt, through exhaustion, and now heaven gives you not only release, but elevation. A new chapter is opening, one where light shines into the places you once hid, where you no longer strive to prove yourself, but simply exist to shine. My beloved, lift your head. Feel the atmosphere around you shifting, lighter, warmer, stiller. That is the sign. When your energy changes, the world changes. When your heart is healed, physical doors begin to open. Blessings always flow from within outward, never the other way around. And now, that inner flow has been released. Heaven is sending you another message. Be ready to receive. You have grown accustomed to enduring, to waiting, to giving, but now is the time to learn how to receive. Not because you are more deserving than others, but because you have been more faithful than your former self. God never forgets the reward for steadfastness. Every hidden sacrifice bears fruit in the season of light, and that season is now. The energies that once surrounded you, confusion, doubt, fear, are dissolving. The old ashes are scattering to reveal the pure gold beneath. Your calm is becoming a miracle, for serenity is the frequency of heaven. When you stay in peace, you resonate with heaven itself, and when that happens, every miracle is activated. The things you once chased will come to you. The doors you once knocked on will open by themselves. For when you stop running after blessings, blessings will run after you. Michael adds, others will be astonished, for they won't understand why your life has suddenly shifted. But you will know because you walked through fire and were not burned. The trial did not destroy you, it refined you. The criticism did not crush you, it strengthened your calling. Now, the light you carry repels every lower vibration. Your name is surrounded by gold, the light of divine selection, of grace, of victory. Believe this: when God chooses to protect you, no force can touch you. No curse can break, no evil plan can stand. For your blessing does not rest in human hands, but in the hands of God Himself. Michael and the angels have built around you a wall of light radiant as fire, yet gentle as morning dew. Everything that once threatened you has now become what strengthens you. My child, from this moment on, live with gratitude, not fear. Each morning you wake, know that you are no longer where you used to be. Your soul has shifted from fear to faith, from pain to restoration, from waiting to receiving. You are in the current of blessing, and nothing can stop it. Trust and walk gently. Let serenity become your prayer. Let faith become your breath. And remember, you have not lost. Heaven never intended defeat for you. Every fall was a step back to leap higher. Every tear was water for your field of blessing. Every trial was heaven's way of shaping the one chosen for greater purpose. Now, As you read these words, let your heart open and feel. Heaven's energy is descending upon you. A warmth spreads through your body. A lightness surrounds your soul. That is the sign. That is confirmation. Michael whispers, "My beloved, lift your head. What you have waited for has come. Dear one, do not rush. Stay here, in this moment. Do not scroll away. Do not let your thoughts flee the present, for something sacred is unfolding. Every word you are reading is not by chance. Every breath you take right now is in rhythm with heaven's heartbeat. Your very presence, simply being here, is the key that unlocks the door heaven has long awaited to open for you. You are not merely reading words. You are standing in the current of a miracle." Michael says, "Be still, for it is in stillness that destiny is rearranged. When you quiet your heart, the energy of heaven begins to move around you. What was once blocked is being released. What was delayed is being accelerated, and what seemed closed is beginning to open. You do not need to push, for the hand of God is pushing on your behalf. The energy surrounding you is changing lighter, brighter, more fluid. You may not yet perceive it, but every particle in the air around you is vibrating differently. The stagnant, heavy air of disappointment is dissipating. The dense clouds of worry are being torn apart. In their place, a clear stream of light is spreading, making everything visible, like dawn lifting the veil of night. My child, do not doubt any longer. Every prayer you have ever whispered, those you thought were forgotten, are now being fulfilled behind the veil of heaven. You cannot see it, but heaven is busy. Angels are moving, carrying the missing pieces that will complete the picture of your life. Every delay, every rejection, every seemingly meaningless detour is converging toward one single point, this very moment. Michael says, "Prepare yourself, for you are about to hear a confirmation. It may come as a message, a call, an invitation, or a simple sentence that makes your heart tremble, but you will know. When it happens, you will feel a warm wave flowing through your entire being as your soul recognizes, this is what I have been waiting for. It will not be a coincidence, it will be proof. Heaven does not send the same signal twice. Everything you are hearing, feeling, and touching right now is a delicate orchestration of God. Do not look for reasons to doubt, nor try to understand with your mind, believe with your heart, for once you leave this moment, the thread of connection will begin to fade. Stay here. Let these words take root deep in your soul, as a seed needs moist soil to germinate. You are standing at the threshold of a turning point closer than you imagine. Just one breath, one heartbeat, and what you have been waiting for will begin to move. In the unseen realm, layers of energy are aligning, no longer scattered or lost, but gathering toward the center of your destiny. Everything is beginning to move in the same direction, toward blessing. Do not fear the vibrations you are about to feel. They are not chaos, but the trembling of a miracle unfolding. When the soul is purified, it shakes to release what is old fear, doubt, hurt, making room for new light. Michael says, "Let it tremble. It is the song of freedom. Those who once overlooked you, who paid no attention to your efforts, will soon take notice, not because you seek their attention, but because the light around you has become too radiant to ignore. Heaven is causing your name to be spoken in places you have never been, in conversations you are not part of, where opportunities are being discussed. Doors are opening, not because you knocked, but because you are standing in the exact place where they were meant to open. You have sown many seeds of effort that you thought were forgotten, but not one has been lost. Every act of faith, every quiet perseverance, every small deed has taken root in sacred soil. Now, Michael whispers, those seeds are sprouting. Blessing does not come from something new, but from old seeds now blooming. You will see results in unexpected places, perhaps a message of gratitude, a long-delayed payment released, or a sudden change guiding you to the right path. But when it happens, your soul will know this is the beginning of an answered promise. Do not try to comprehend everything through logic. Heaven does not operate by earthly reason. What seems random is only heaven's way of orchestrating your wonder. God hides himself in the smallest details in a brief encounter, a fleeting dream, or a letter arriving at the perfect time. And when your heart remains still, you will see everything align, as if someone invisible is arranging the pieces of your heart into perfect harmony. My beloved child, when the spiritual current begins to accelerate, keep your heart still. Do not panic when things start unfolding faster than you expected. Do not be afraid if the old suddenly departs, for the new must have room to arrive. Heaven is propelling you forward, and at times that movement may feel overwhelming. Yet Michael says, do not resist. Relax and let me lead the way. If your plans change unexpectedly, do not be troubled. Every shift carries a purpose. When a meeting is canceled, it may be heaven's way of protecting you from something unwholesome. When an opportunity is postponed, it could be because the right moment has yet to come. When you lose something, it is only to make space for what truly belongs to you. God never takes without giving back in abundance. Right now, you may sense a warmth spreading through your being, or a deep peace beyond explanation. That is the sign that heavenly energy is moving within your space. Heaven is breathing new life into your soul, and within that breath, old boundaries are dissolving, making way for a rushing river of blessing. Believe this, my child, when heaven says, it is time, no power can stand against it. Doors that have been sealed for years are opening. Those who once said no will return with a yes. Paths once cut off are now being reconnected. Everything will happen so swiftly that all you can do is bow your head and whisper, Lord, you had prepared it all along. And when it comes, remember, this is not the result of luck, but the fruit of steadfastness. It was your faithfulness that moved heaven. It was your tears that became the strongest prayer. It was your choice to remain when you wanted to give up that unlocked the gate of blessings you thought had long been shut. My beloved, the season of testing has ended. Now comes the season of harvest. Every seed sown in faith, even the smallest mustard seed, will bear fruit. Nothing is forgotten. Heaven remembers every second you believed, every minute you waited, every time you chose love over bitterness. And now, the reward is coming not in the form you expected, but in a way so glorious that it will bring you to your knees in gratitude. My precious child, this is the sacred moment when the door between heaven and earth stands open. The miracle long prepared for you has been waiting until your soul grew bright and strong enough to touch its divine frequency. And tonight, it is happening. The energy within you has shifted, not the echo of fear or confusion, but the rhythm of faith, beating in harmony with heaven's pulse. This is the moment when waiting turns into fulfillment, when every tear becomes the seed of glory. My child, you are not merely being blessed, you are being honored by God. For every silent day, you stood firm through trials without complaint, without retreat, holding only to faith in Him. You are about to witness a turning point so profound that even you will stand in awe. It will not only transform your circumstances, but awaken a new being within you. It is the shift of destiny itself, where every limitation breaks and every barrier crumbles. But before it manifests, Michael, the archangel of strength and victory, wants you to remember these words. Believe before you see. That is how heaven moves. Faith is not waiting for the miracle to appear before believing. It is knowing with certainty that the miracle is already forming, even when the eyes see nothing. And it is this very faith that is unlocking the door you once thought sealed forever. Can you feel it, my child? That gentle light radiating within your chest, it is not imagination, but the sign of angelic presence surrounding you. Breathe deeply and exhale softly. Each breath is heaven's greeting, the breath of God flowing into your heart. You no longer need to wait. The time has come. Michael stands beside you now, sword gleaming, carrying the command from God's throne. Every obstacle, fall. Everything that once hindered, delayed, or dimmed your light is now breaking apart piece by piece. Do not leave this moment. Do not scroll past or let your focus drift, for what you are feeling is the movement of the sacred atmosphere. When this message ends, you will see a sign, a gentle breeze, an unexpected message, or a peace that envelops you. But it will come unmistakably, confirming that heaven is at work for you. This is no coincidence. It is divine orchestration. Good news is coming, carried with heaven's speed, swift, powerful, and precise, sealed with your name, for the Lord himself has signed his blessing upon it. You once thought you were waiting for something good to happen, but in truth, you were waiting for sanctification. When Michael stands beside you, every old layer of your life is being peeled away so that the space within your soul can be wide enough to hold the new thing God is bringing. This is not merely a reward, it is a declaration. You have overcome. The dark days no longer have power over you. The wounds of the past no longer define you. Everything that once made you doubt yourself, everything that once filled you with fear, is now being consumed by the fire of grace. Do you know, beloved, that the very moments when you thought you were collapsing were the ones when heaven was writing a new chapter of your story? Every tear that fell became a seed for a glorious harvest. God has not forgotten a single one. He gathered them all, pressed them into holy oil, and now Michael brings that oil to anoint your soul. That is why you feel a strange strength rising within you, a weightless peace beyond words. You are being restored, not only in mind, but in the deepest essence of your being. Open your heart, dear one. Allow yourself to believe, even when your reason does not yet understand. Let faith go before you, for faith is the language heaven speaks. When you say, I believe, the heavens move. Angels shift, commands are released, and what once seemed impossible begins to take form. What you have prayed for is on its way, not by your striving, but by God's speed, faster than light, deeper than understanding. Be still and know that He is working right now. This is not just a promise, it is fulfillment. As you read these words, a door is opening and light is pouring through. What you thought was lost is coming back to life. What you believed was delayed is being accelerated. Do not doubt. With every breath you take, you are aligning with the rhythm of heaven. You are no longer where you used to be. You are stepping into the land of completion, where all that God ordained for you begins to bloom. And now, beloved child, I want you to know this. You are not merely blessed, you are the evidence of God's faithfulness. He chose you to show the world that those who remain steadfast in faith will never be put to shame. You will see it with your own eyes. Miracles will no longer be concepts, but reality. Your tomorrow will not look like your yesterday, because today you have believed. Do not fear the great light that is coming. It is not here to blind you, but to open your eyes. Do not be startled when everything changes so quickly that it feels unreal, for that is how God works when He declares, "It is time." And my child, this very moment is that time. Let your heart rest, take a deep breath, and feel heaven unfolding above you. My beloved, as you read these words, know that what is happening is not random. There is an invisible hand moving behind the veil, arranging every detail of your life with precision and grace. Your name is being spoken in a room you have never entered, where doors of opportunity are opening that you never knew existed. This is the realm of grace, where God is mentioning your name to the hearts He has prepared beforehand. Those people will become keys, carriers of righteousness and kindness sent to connect, uplift, and illuminate the path of your destiny. Can you feel it, my child? The atmosphere around you is shifting, as though everything is vibrating at a higher frequency. It is not your imagination. It is the vibration of recognition, the signal that heaven is calling your name. Every heartbeat you feel right now is more than just life. It is the rhythm of destiny, aligning with the movement of the divine. You are standing in a chosen moment where time and grace intersect. What once seemed random is now falling into perfect alignment, and you will see everything flowing smoothly, like a river guided by the hand of God. Do not be surprised when what was once tangled suddenly becomes clear, for the Lord is making every piece fit together so that the story of your life may shine with His glory. Everything you are hearing and reading right now is not merely words, it is a code of activation. When you open your heart and receive it in faith, the energy of heaven begins to move and permeate every aspect of your life. The veil between what has been promised and what is unfolding is being lifted. You no longer need to wait. This is the moment to allow what has been prepared to step into the light. Let your faith be the key that unlocks this blessing. Do not resist. Do not doubt. Let everything within you come into agreement with what God is doing. For when you say, Amen, the hosts of heaven begin to move to fulfill that very word. Michael is near, and he wants you to know this. Your breakthrough will not come from where you expect it. Sometimes, God allows you to be disappointed by the familiar so that He can make room for grace to flow from an unexpected place. Someone is coming, not a person seeking benefit, but a soul of pure intention, carrying the energy of righteousness and sincerity. That person is a messenger sent by heaven into your journey, not to change who you are, but to activate the part of the plan God has already written for you. And when that person enters your life, you will recognize them not with your mind, but through a deep, unshakable peace within your spirit. My child, what is approaching is not merely an opportunity, it is heaven's response. Within the next few hours, you will see a sign, perhaps an unexpected message, a sudden call, or even a wave of peace descending out of nowhere. But you will know it is a sign, for your soul will respond, it will recognize it. That is how heaven confirms that you are on the right path. There is a profound truth that Michael wants you to remember. Grace does not flow from haste, but from readiness. You do not always need to run. Sometimes, you only need to stand still and let heaven do its part. When you believe, you become a magnet drawing in what rightfully belongs to you. Every spiritual frequency within you is being tuned to align with what God has ordained. Just as a compass always points north, your heart, when filled with faith, will always point toward His light. And in this very stillness, the miracle is already at work. The prayers you once whispered in the darkness are now being carried to the throne of God. Angels are moving, the heavens are opening. Do not be surprised if tomorrow looks completely different from today, for the current has already shifted. You are no longer walking in the shadow of waiting, but stepping into the light of fulfillment. Every disappointment of the past was not an ending, but God's way of cleansing your surroundings. He did not want you to place your trust in the wrong places, so He removed the connections that were impure and closed the paths that were not part of His divine plan. For unless He clears the soil, the seed of blessing cannot grow. Give thanks for the doors that closed, for they are the very reason the right door is now ready to open. And, my beloved child, do not think you have been forgotten. While you thought you were waiting, heaven was working. Conversations are happening, and your name is being mentioned by people you have never met in discussions about your gifts, your light, your faithfulness. They do not yet know why they feel compelled to speak of you, but it is the Lord who is stirring their hearts, and when the perfect time comes, everything will merge into one divine movement, a movement called, It is Time. So, my child, have the courage to believe that the good things coming to you are not because you had to strive for them, but because God has already ordained them to be yours. No one can take away what belongs to you. Every delay has only made what is coming more complete. Every prayer once lost in tears is returning multiplied in power, grace, and glory. When you feel your heart trembling as though something unnamed is about to happen, it is your soul responding to the frequency of heaven. Stay in the stillness. Do not step away from this sacred space. For in the quiet, you will hear the whisper of God. You are ready, and when He speaks those words, no power in existence can stop what follows. You are about to step into a new chapter not through effort, but through grace. And when it unfolds, you will understand that every waiting season had purpose, every tear was counted, and every failure was the soft soil where the seed of glory took root. Receive what is coming with an open heart, for this is not merely a change of circumstance, but a transformation of the soul. You are moving from shadow to light, from waiting to fulfillment, from doubt to revelation. Above all, you are entering a new covenant where God is not only the one you believe in, but the one who is now moving actively within you. In this moment, angels surround you. Their wings shimmer, their light spins in circles, magnifying every holy desire within your heart. Michael, the captain of light, leads them. They do not carry swords to fight men, but to cut away the energies of delay and doubt that have held you back. Invisible barriers are dissolving. All stagnation is being recalled. The time has come, and the river of grace is flowing once again. This is the new reel of your life, where every frame, once dimmed, is now replaced with radiant light. You are walking forward, no longer lost, but drawing nearer to the person, the call, or the opportunity heaven has prepared for you. Each of your steps is now guided. What once felt beyond your reach now feels close, like a hand extended from heaven itself. Beloved, you no longer have to chase after blessings. The blessings are coming to find you. Michael whispers through the wind, you are being blessed in realms the human eye cannot see. The energy of victory is echoing through your name, reverberating across the heavens. And as the angel speaks, all of heaven responds, for your name has now become one with the song of heaven. Every prayer that once fell like a single drop of rain is now gathered together, returning as a downpour of blessings, gentle, yet deeply saturating. Your patience has become your crown. Every trial is no longer a wound, but a jewel upon it. For only those who walk through fire and remain kind, who pass through tears, yet keep their faith, are worthy to wear the crown of light. And now, that crown is near. Stay a little longer. Do not rush away. Something great is approaching, something that, when it happens, will make you whisper, at last, it has come. And then, a peace long absent will pour into your heart like sunlight after a long storm. Everything will become clear, as though the last veil of fog has finally lifted. You will understand that God was never silent. He was simply waiting for the perfect moment for your blessing to appear in full glory. Be still, beloved. Keep your focus and your peace right here, for every word you are reading is not just sound, it is energy, rewriting the frequency of your soul in real time. Let your heart flow with it. Do not resist. Every word spoken is a divine command, summoning light, driving out darkness, and leading your blessings out of hiding. You may not see it with your eyes, but heaven is at work. The realms above are recording, the angels are moving, the atmosphere around you is shifting. Believe that every blessing in this moment is being sealed with your name. When this message ends, what has been ordained will be activated. Things that seemed asleep will awaken, and you will know deep within, truly, it is done. My beloved child, look back upon your journey, the places where you fell, wept, and thought you could not go on. Do you see now? All of it has led you here. You have grown in silence, found strength in weakness, and endured in the midst of trials. It was that calm endurance that opened heaven's gates for you. For God does not seek perfection, He seeks faithfulness, and you, my child, have been found faithful. Michael now plants his sword of light into the soil of your soul, marking the moment of divine transition. From here on, delays will be erased, buried dreams will rise, and faded desires will take form again. You will feel a new power, not your own, but the power of the Almighty flowing through you. And as you continue walking, you will see that every step has already been placed in perfect order. My beloved child, the call of heaven has sounded, and it carries the frequency of your destiny. Every echo from above is not merely a word, but a current of divine energy reaching into your soul to awaken what God placed within you from the beginning. That sound, gentle yet powerful, pierces through every layer of the heavens and touches the deepest chamber of your heart. And as you open yourself to receive it, the miracle that bears your name begins to move. It does not arrive as a storm or a roaring wind, but as the tender breath of the Spirit, blowing upon the ashes and rekindling the fire of hope within you. Do not leave this moment. The sacred alignment you have long sought begins the instant you choose to stay. With just a nod of faith, with one peaceful breath, all of heaven starts to move. The angels are already at work not far away, but near, whispering into the minds of those whose destinies are intertwined with yours. They are planting ideas, stirring compassion, awakening mercy, and opening doors that your own strength could never unlock. Doors opened by the very hand of God. Those who once overlooked you, who failed to see your worth, will soon return with new eyes, not because you have changed so much, but because heaven has changed the way they see you. In the divine design, there is no waste and no delay. Everything arrives in its appointed time, and now it is your time. The hour has come for what was forgotten to be restored, what was rejected to be honored, and what you thought was lost to be returned, multiplied, and overflowing. If tonight you hear a sudden chime, receive an unexpected message, or see a door open without knocking, know this: it is not coincidence. It is the evidence of divine order, the perfect orchestration of heaven where nothing happens outside of God's timing. He has marked your name in the book of grace. While you thought you were waiting, God was preparing the stage for your entrance. Michael speaks now, his voice deep, resonant like the trumpet of the heavenly host. This is your hour, O chosen one. Rise, but rise quietly. Let grace speak for you. You need not explain, nor argue, nor rush. At this moment, your energy, the energy of faith and peace, will take care of everything. Wherever you go, the light surrounding your name will bear witness, and those with spiritual eyes will see you are one who has been touched by God. My child, understand this. Sometimes God works in silence, but He is never absent. When He does not speak, He writes. When He does not act outwardly, He shapes inwardly. It is in this quiet season that He has tuned the frequency of your soul to match the vibration of the blessing He is about to release. If your heart feels different now, calmer, deeper, more still, that is not a fleeting emotion, but a sign that you are resonating with heaven's plan. You may not yet see results with your eyes, but heaven already sees. The angels have begun to move. Every right decision you have ever made, every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, silence over argument, faithfulness over fear, all of it has become a testimony before God, and He has declared, it is time. Now, all that once delayed, you can no longer hold you back. Destiny has been released. Pay attention. The atmosphere around you is shifting. You may feel warmth enveloping you, or a gentle current brushing across your skin like a soft wind. That is the tangible movement of heaven's energy. Do not fear it. It is the sign that the miracle is being unlocked. Every realm of heaven is resonating, and your name is being sung in the song of God's glory. Now, the light speaks for you. No defense is needed, no effort to prove yourself. Your very presence has changed. Wherever you walk, the air itself shifts, not because you try to impress, but because God walks with you. Those who once ignored you will turn back, drawn to you without knowing why. For when God anoints a soul, no one can overlook that person again. And my beloved child, never forget that silence carries its own voice. In this season, you do not need to defend yourself, for heaven is speaking on your behalf. When you remain at peace, you allow the divine energy to accomplish what words cannot. When you cease chasing after things, you stand precisely where blessings can find you. Your calmness and steadfastness are the most powerful declaration that you trust in the plan of God. The universe is bowing to the command of His voice. Doors that were once shut are beginning to tremble. Connections, people, and opportunities appointed by the Lord are moving toward you. Every element is aligning in perfect harmony like a symphony orchestrated long ago. And you are the leading note, the central melody around which the entire harmony revolves. My dear one, do not be surprised if the things you no longer pursue suddenly come to you. Do not be alarmed if those who once walked away now return. For when your light shines, it draws everything that belongs to you, not because you chase after it, but because you stand firm in faith. Michael adds, stand still and watch the grace of God at work. Blessings are not meant to be fought for, but to be received with humility. Keep your heart tender. For the Lord is using you as living proof to the world that whoever puts their trust in Him will never be put to shame. My child, this moment is not just a season of favor, it is a turning point of destiny. Every sorrow you have endured is being rewritten into a new chapter, a chapter of restoration, glory, and testimony. Once God has declared, it is time, no power can stop it from becoming reality. And as you read these words, pause for a moment, take a deep breath in, and exhale. Feel the stillness surrounding you, for within that silence, heaven is speaking. He is sealing the very thing you have prayed for and inscribing your name onto the next page of His divine plan. Beloved child, wait until the end, for something magnificent is closer than you think. A door is about to open, a miracle is about to appear, and when it comes, you will no longer ask when, because deep within your soul, you will know that this is your appointed hour. My precious one, right now as your eyes read these lines, heaven has sealed your moment. Everything has moved out of the waiting realm into the realm of fulfillment. The prayers you once whispered into the silence have been gathered together, forming a river of grace now pouring over your life. God has not only heard you, He has prepared to answer in glory. No longer a promise carried by the wind, but a tangible, undeniable reality. This is the hour ordained from heaven where doors open all at once, where impossibilities are rewritten into possibilities, where you will know that miracles are not fairy tales but your true inheritance. My child, heaven has never forgotten the tears you once shed in secret. They have become pearls of faith, offered before the throne of grace. And when their number is complete, the Lord declares, your hour has come. Everything that once hindered, delayed, or exhausted, you must now give way, for when heaven appoints a time, no earthly power can postpone it. You need not do anything more to prove yourself, for God has already finished His part. Just as dawn cannot be hidden forever, your blessing can no longer be concealed. When heaven sets the hour, all creation knows, the air grows still, time bows low, and the energy around you shifts direction. Everything that once turned away begins to turn back. You may not yet see it with your eyes, but your spirit can feel it. Everything starts to flow in alignment, like a river finding its true course again. Those who once closed the door will suddenly open it. What was lost will return, not as it was before, but better, purer, and more radiant. For God never restores what was, He multiplies it beyond measure. Archangel Michael stands there, his radiant sword gleaming as he inscribes your name upon the flame of glory. He declares, the time has come, the hour of fulfillment, the hour of miracles, the hour when heaven and earth meet in your name. At His word, the entire realm of light falls silent. There is no more waiting, only movement. Angels begin to flow like the wind, carrying blessings, people, opportunities, and divine arrangements that only heaven could orchestrate. My child, a sacred sequence of divine alignments is beginning. Every meeting, every word, every door, every sign, they are not coincidences but threads of destiny woven by the hand of God. Open your heart, beloved. Do not limit the ways in which God can work. Miracles do not always arrive wrapped in blinding light. Sometimes they appear in the humble form of something ordinary. A kind word, a letter, a message, a stranger who suddenly becomes significant. This is how heaven moves. When grace begins to operate, it seeps into every detail of life, turning small things into great ones, transforming the meaningless into purpose, and making random moments sacred. Then you will see, what you prayed for did not come late, it came right on time. If it had arrived sooner, you would not have been ready to hold it. If it had come later, you might have lost hope. But now, in the perfect ripeness of divine timing, God has appointed the hour, and He never errs. When He moves, He does not merely answer prayers, He completes the one who prayed. You will look back and understand that the delays, the waiting, and even the years that felt wasted were all seasons in which God quietly refined your soul. In the drought, you learned to drink from the well of grace. In the darkness, you learned to recognize the light. In solitude, you discovered that God never leaves. Now, as the appointed hour unfolds, every lesson becomes the firm foundation on which your blessing rests. For if blessing comes before the soul matures, it becomes a burden. But now you are ready, strong, steady, and humble before the glory. Michael speaks. You do not need to defend yourself. Grace will speak for you. When the blessing comes, keep your heart still. Do not boast, argue, or explain. Let your light shine naturally, for those who belong to the light do not prove themselves. They simply appear. And know this, my child, grace is never loud. It needs no announcement to be real. It is quiet as dawn, but when it rises, every shadow fades. That is how miracles work, not with trumpets, but with the heartbeat of trust. When you remain still, you allow heaven to display its power in full. Then, what you have long awaited will arrive, soft as breath, yet certain as sunrise. A message, a door opening, an opportunity glowing amid the ordinary. You will know instantly, this is the promise fulfilled, for it will carry a peace unlike any other, not peace born of circumstances, but of the Spirit's companionship. You will not ask, is this it? Because your soul will whisper, it is. This, beloved, is the hour when the miraculous becomes real, no longer sensed only in spirit, but seen and touched in form. God is turning the unseen into seen, the promised into manifested. You will witness signs, perhaps small, yet enough to make your heart tremble. An unexpected turn, a return of someone long gone, a dream revived, or a joy that arises for no reason at all. Each one will be a token that grace has descended, and when it happens, remember, this is not merely a reward, it is confirmation that you have stepped into the flow of heaven. From now on, you will no longer pray out of fear, but in power, no longer wait in tears, but walk in faith. For you will know that God does not just perform miracles, He Himself is the miracle. Now, the sky above you gleams brighter. Every star seems to burn with greater brilliance, for the light of God is reflecting through your soul. Each step you take bears the imprint of grace. Every breath you draw is the rhythm of the universe harmonizing with God's intent. You are living in the hour of fulfillment, the moment heaven itself has ordained. Beloved child, take a deep breath. Feel this peace is spreading, soft yet real. It is not imagination. It is the imprint of heaven upon your soul, like a golden seal engraved with the words, "It is finished." Everything has been settled. There is no more striving. And when you close your eyes tonight, know that all of heaven is smiling. Angels are singing. Michael lifts his radiant sword. and the Lord looks upon you with pride. For you have endured the long night, held on to faith, and now you stand in the light of what was promised. Beloved one, even now as your heart begins to quiet after months of wrestling and fighting, heaven gazes upon you with tenderness. The peace you feel is not a temporary calm of emotion, but the sign of a divine victory already won. The battle has been long, fought in silence where only you and God knew the cost. Each time you chose love over resentment, forgiveness over revenge, trust over fear, the heavens trembled in joy. God says to you, you have passed through fire and walked through water, yet your heart remains pure. That alone delights him more than any prayer you have ever spoken. He wants you to understand that not a single tear has fallen unnoticed. The lonely nights you thought no one saw, the times you collapsed in exhaustion, the whispered prayers in the dark, all of them are precious. None of your endurance has been wasted. It has been the seed for the harvest of blessing now approaching. And now, as peace returns and the weight lifts from your heart, it is the sign that the season of testing is complete. Heaven has declared that you have finished the course of faith in the unseen realm where human eyes cannot reach. A decree is being spoken. You are free. Stay in this moment. Do not rise too quickly. Do not let the sacred energy surrounding you fade away. Breathe deeply and know that this stillness is not empty. It is the presence of God. As you sit here, something holy is being confirmed. Heaven itself joins in one voice to declare that the chains of your past have fallen, that every cord of fear and self-doubt has been cut. Your soul is released, no longer bound by what once made you small. This is the hour you step into a new chapter, one of freedom, restoration, joy, and light. God says that the good news bearing your name has been announced. Everything you once hoped for, prayed for, and believed could happen but had not yet seen, has now been set in motion. Before this day ends, a sign will come, gentle, yet unmistakable. It may be an unexpected message, a familiar word from an unfamiliar place, or simply a deep calm that floods your heart. That sign will be strong enough for your spirit to know this is real, that the promise is no longer suspended, but being fulfilled. This is no longer a word of encouragement. It is heaven's confirmation that your miracle has begun to move. Every prayer you have ever sent forth is returning in the form of answered manifestation. The moment you opened these words, an invisible yet powerful shift began to stir around your name. Angels are drawing near, carrying the energy of life, touching your mind, breathing through your soul, soothing your heart. It is not you seeking God now, it is God seeking you. Listen carefully, his voice does not come from afar, but from within you, like the familiar rhythm of your heartbeat, whispering, you are seen, you are known, and you are chosen. Archangel Michael, the warrior of light, stands beside you. He says that every battle you have faced, whether in silence or in tears, has been recorded in heaven's book of victories. No act of love you gave was wasted, no moment of patience forgotten. Every delay you endured, every sudden ending you accepted, every rejection you faced quietly, each one was part of heaven's design. Not to break you, but to strengthen you. Not to take away, but to make room for greater things. Every loss was simply an old shell falling away so your soul could grow unburdened. Heaven is in motion now, and the energy around you carries a new magnetic field, strong, radiant, and full of divine attraction. It is that very light drawing toward you the people, opportunities, and encounters written into your destiny. Do not be surprised when, in the days to come, everything begins to shift swiftly. Doors will open in places you never expected. Invitations will arrive from those you never imagined, and circumstances once scattered will align into a perfect tapestry. This is not coincidence. It is the chain reaction of a miracle, the rhythm of a divine plan unfolding with precision. You do not need to do anything more than believe. Believe not with the mind, but with a heart that knows how to rest in God. You have weathered enough storms to understand that not every answer needs to be seen to be true. Some answers come wrapped in peace. Some confirmations do not arrive through evidence, but through the quiet knowing of the soul. When you believe, you allow heaven to operate without hindrance. When you believe, the unseen realm begins to move on your behalf. Do not fear the changes approaching. Every shift, gentle or fierce, remains under the control of the Creator. If someone departs, if something closes, let it go with gratitude. There is no ending that does not carry within it a beginning. God does not take away to make you lose, but to make room for what is right, what cannot be stolen. Heaven never closes a door without opening another, larger, brighter, and leading you closer to your true purpose. Now, let your mind rest in His presence. Let your breathing slow, and realize that every inhale and exhale carries the breath of the Holy Spirit. Each breath rewrites the frequency of your soul, aligning it with heaven's rhythm. It is in this stillness that the miracle unfolds. There is no need for drums, lights, or announcements. All that is required is an open heart, and the sacred will begin to flow in. Do not think you are reading a message. You are standing in a divine encounter. Every word is a wave of light moving deep into your spirit, awakening the ancient memory that you were made of light, called by name, and destined to carry the glory of God upon the earth. When this truth dawns on you, you will no longer pray as one in lack, but live as one entrusted. You will no longer ask when, for you will know the time has come. If you feel a gentle warmth spreading through your heart right now, if tears fall not from sorrow but from peace, then know heaven is touching you. It is confirmation that your prayers have been heard, that the miraculous is already in motion. This is no longer a distant promise but a reality taking form. From this very moment, you are no longer one waiting for a miracle. You are the evidence that miracles exist. Heaven rejoices. Michael raises his sword of light, and in the celestial realm, a golden seal is placed upon your name, the seal of freedom, blessing, and divine affirmation. From today onward, you walk not in anxiety but in the radiance of one who has been confirmed. Every step you take will leave footprints of grace. And when you smile, the heavens will mirror that smile as though God Himself is smiling through you. So, beloved, be at peace. Everything has been decided. Heaven is no longer preparing, it is finished. Grace has been released, and your story from this point forward will carry new colors, not of waiting, but of fulfillment, not of tears, but of joy, not of fear, but of radiant light. You have been seen, validated, and chosen to continue walking in the love of the one who called you. Before the foundation of the world, my beloved, now you may breathe deeply, for the season of struggle has closed. The doors once shut, the paths once clouded, are now beginning to open. A new chapter has been written in heaven's book, and your name stands at the top of the page. Every trial you have endured was never wasted. They were the very materials shaping the strongest, wisest version of you today. Even now, the whole universe is aligning to orchestrate the people and events of your life, bringing everything that belongs to you, right on time, exactly as heaven ordained. The angels are watching your every step, not to test you anymore, but to walk beside you. The circle of light around you is widening, glowing brighter and warmer. It is the radiance of restoration, the sign of a soul that has passed through the fire without being burned, only refined. You may not see it clearly yet, but at the deepest level, the universe is bowing toward you. In the next few hours, you will sense this movement through signs that may seem small, yet carry a sacred frequency. Repeating numbers, a familiar name appearing unexpectedly, or a sudden shiver running down your spine. Do not doubt these things, they are not coincidences, but the whispers of God. Each sign is a message saying, I am here, and everything is unfolding exactly as planned. My beloved, the time has come to trust the sound of your own voice. Archangel Michael says that your words carry creative power. The words you speak are not just sounds, they are commands sent into the universe. If you speak with hope, if you declare with faith that good things are coming, in that very moment, all of heaven begins to respond. For in the realm of the Spirit, sound is the seed of transformation. Let every word you speak from this moment on carry the rhythm of trust and gratitude, for your words do not vanish into emptiness. They rise like incense, and the angels carry them to be sown into the soil of miracles. Remember, it does not take grand declarations. A single yes, small but sincere, is enough to open the gates of heaven. That yes is the surrender of the heart to the perfect plan of God, the proclamation that you believe even before you see. And when you say yes, heaven moves. Everything that waited in silence, every promise that seemed forgotten, begins to step into the light. You will start to notice small yet constant shifts, doors opening without you knocking, opportunities finding you without your pursuit, people appearing at the right time as though divinely sent. All these are heaven's response to your trusting yes. You are no longer in the waiting room. The days of longing have passed. Now you stand at the threshold of fulfillment. You are no longer the petitioner, you are the one being called forward. Heaven is bringing you to the main stage of your life, where the light no longer shines from afar but directly upon you, not for you to perform, but to radiate with humility, so that the light of God within you may be seen and felt. Everything that once made you feel small now becomes the backdrop for your brilliance. My dear one, keep your heart in peace and remain in this state. Do not let fear pull you back into old places. For the energy you carry now, the energy of faith, love, and gratitude, is opening sacred encounters. Certain souls are being awakened, stirred to come toward you. They carry something you need, and you hold something they are seeking. This is how heaven weaves connection, not through your plans, but through divine orchestration. In the coming hours, you may feel that someone is thinking of you, mentioning your name in conversation, or unexpectedly reaching out after a long silence. It is not a coincidence, it is heaven whispering through them. Someone has been chosen by God to speak your name in a way that changes everything. A single word, a gesture, a decision, seemingly small, yet it becomes the piece that opens a new chapter in your life. You do not need to chase it, for it is already on its way to you. Michael says, when your soul comes into alignment with divine will, you no longer need to strive, for blessings know where to find you. That is what is happening now. The energy surrounding you, bright, clear, and powerful, is drawing you into your rightful place within God's plan. Nothing is random anymore. Everything is unfolding with intention. Trust that the invisible hand is arranging every detail, and that each heartbeat now resonates with the heartbeat of heaven. This is the moment when the universe and your soul meet. When you choose faith, peace, and gratitude, you step into the frequency of miracles. Breathe deeply and feel it. You may sense a warmth spreading through your chest or a gentle, nameless lightness. That is the sign, the unseen confirmation that God is at work. He is never late. He is simply waiting for your heart to be still, enough to receive. My child, let joy seep in. Let hope return to its throne. Everything is flowing gentle yet powerful. What you once thought was delayed is actually being prepared to arrive in perfect timing. The door that God opens requires no knocking, for it was crafted just for you. And when you step through it, you will finally understand why everything before had to take so long, because only now are you ready to fully live within what He has destined for you. Beloved child, keep your heart tender. Do not let the memories of old wounds prevent you from receiving what is new. Heaven does not wish for you to carry the luggage of fear into the land of blessing. Let it go, and trust that you are worthy of the goodness that is on its way. And when it appears, and it surely will, you will know that it is not luck, but grace. Let every word you speak from now on become a blessing, for you have stepped into a new season, a season of walking hand in hand with heaven. You are no longer one who seeks miracles, but a living testimony of them. When you speak life, life spreads. When you speak faith, faith overflows. When you say yes, heaven itself moves. In the silence, angels are writing your name into new blueprints. They are not in haste, but they do not stop. They are preparing to lead you into sacred intersections where destiny meets opportunity, where light and blessing merge into one. And when that moment arrives, you won't need to strive to recognize it. Your soul will simply know, for everything will feel right beyond explanation. So, my child, be at peace. Keep walking in the light that grows around you. Smile when you see repeating numbers, familiar names, or feel a sudden chill down your spine. That is heaven's greeting. It is how God whispers, "You are not walking alone." And when you sense that call, respond with gratitude. "Lord, I am ready." From that very moment, you will realize you are no longer the one searching for signs. You have become the sign of the miracle itself. Heaven is speaking through your life, and the world will see it in your eyes, your smile, and the way you live. That grace is real, and God is always on time. Beloved child, now that the storm has stilled, your soul stands in a different kind of light, a light not blinding or loud, yet bright enough to reveal what was once obscure. It is the light of one who has been proven, one who has walked through fire yet kept a tender heart, who has endured the night and still believed in the dawn. Heaven does not certify with paper, but with the energy that radiates from the soul. When that light surrounds you, no words are needed, for those near you will feel it and say, "This one has met God." There are confirmations that do not come through trumpets or thunder, but through a strange peace descending upon the heart. That peace does not come because everything is right, but because you know that even when the waves have not calmed, Christ is still in the boat. You have learned that stability does not come from avoiding the wind, but from anchoring yourself in the one who never changes. Now, peace is no longer a reward, it is power, a quiet strength that nothing around you can shake. You once thought heaven's confirmation would come as a wondrous sign, but in truth, it is found in how you still choose love amid pain. When you forgive the one who hurt you, when you smile though your heart bleeds, when you keep praying for those who caused your sorrow, that is when heaven bows and says, "This is my child." There are victories that need no medals, only compassion that survives the storm. Now you are walking in a light that cannot be fabricated. It does not arise from perfection but from healed scars. Every crack in your soul now reflects the light of grace. The old wounds are no longer memories of defeat, but proof that God has touched that place. And when He touches it, what was once dark becomes the brightest space of all. Look back upon your journey, the roads no one knew, the nights filled with sighs, the tears that fell unseen. God has gathered them all, weaving them into a robe of glory that now rests upon your life. Not a single tear was wasted, not a single waiting moment was in vain. It was all to prepare for this moment when you stand in the light of the chosen, with no need to prove, no need to defend, simply to be. Therefore, lift up your head. Do not bow down over what has been lost, nor fear what is yet to come. The light around you is not only meant to illuminate you, but to allow others to see God through you. The one who is affirmed by heaven does not need to speak loudly. They carry a stillness that compels the world to listen. When you enter a place, peace walks in with you. When you speak, your words are not mere sounds, but the flowing stream of the Spirit. And when you are silent, your very presence still speaks on your behalf. There are people who are affirmed by talent, status, or success, but the person of God is affirmed by an inner light that cannot be imitated. That light does not boast, yet it makes falsehood unable to stand near it. It is a gentle, humble light, yet carries a power that causes darkness to retreat. Those who are affirmed know that they are not the source of light, but the reflection of the light himself. You may still carry wounds, memories, and unanswered questions, but these do not diminish your worth. They make you more real. The world glorifies the flawless, but heaven chooses those softened by pain. It is they, the souls once broken but never faithless, who shine most brightly as living witnesses of grace's power. My child, the mark of heaven is not on the hand or the forehead, but in the eyes that know compassion. When you look upon others without judgment, when you can smile even with no reason left, when you choose to believe in goodness amid a world of doubt, that is when your light shines the brightest. Others may not understand why they feel peace around you, but truly, they are standing close to the presence of God within you. From now on, live with the awareness that you carry that light. Every word you speak, every act you do, every step you take can become a doorway through which the light spreads. God affirms you, not so you can rest, but so you can be sent. Your light is not for display, it is for illumination. Remember this. True light does not choose where it is easy to shine. It goes to the darkest places, for there it becomes most useful. Perhaps you once feared that you were not enough, but now you know sufficiency does not come from you, but from the one who dwells within you. He is the source of all strength, patience, and hope. He does not need your perfection to use you. He only needs your willingness, and you are willing. The proof is that you are still here, reading these words, with a heart softened by fire and tears. As you walk in the light of affirmation, you will notice changes. Those who once hurt you may be drawn back, yet you no longer hold anger. New challenges may arise, but fear no longer rules you. You have been reshaped. The light within you no longer flickers, it burns steadily like an oil lamp, constantly fueled by grace. Guard that flame. Do not let the winds of life extinguish it. Each morning, begin with a whisper, Lord, let your light in me shine upon the world today. The one who is affirmed does not seek recognition, for they know that heaven's approval is enough. When God says, "This is my beloved child, in whom I am well pleased," every other voice fades into insignificance. Therefore, do not chase praise, nor fear misunderstanding. The one who is affirmed does not need noise to be heard, nor crowds to be seen. They walk in quietness but leave traces of peace everywhere they go. My beloved child, never forget that light must be sustained by humility. Whenever you feel the urge to prove yourself, pause and remember that true light never needs to be demonstrated. It speaks through its own presence. The moment you stop trying to shine is the moment you shine the most. God wants you to understand that He does not need a blinding beam, but a gentle light strong enough to guide the lost home. Live close to the Lord, for the light within you grows only when you remain near its source. Each day, take time to recharge the energy of your soul, not through requests, but through presence. Sit still, breathe deeply, and know that He is there. In stillness, you hear His voice. In hearing, you find direction. And in direction, you become a light for others. If you wish to know how brightly your light is shining, look at how people feel around you. If they find peace, comfort, and healing, it means the light is at work. You don't need to try to inspire anyone, just be honest and gentle. The light of God does not force, it persuades through love. And, my child, there is a truth you must hold on to. A light that has been affirmed never goes out, no matter how strong the wind. It may flicker, but it never disappears. For it is not your light, but His light within you. Even if you wander, He waits to rekindle it. Even if you lose your way, that light follows you like the last glimmer in the forest guiding a traveler home. Believe that you are now standing at the dawn of a new era. Darkness no longer holds the same power. Every curse, every limitation, every doubt has been lifted. You are affirmed not to be admired, but to live with purpose, to illuminate the path for those still wandering through the night. And when they find light through you, heaven smiles and says, "This light was never meant for one alone, but for the world." When night falls and you find yourself alone again, remember this. You do not need a new miracle to know that God is still there. The peace you feel is the miracle itself. Not every prayer is answered by events, but all are answered by presence. You have been affirmed not by what you do, but by allowing Him to live through you. Walk in that light softly, steadily, and meekly. Let your life become a living testimony that grace is real, that love is greater than loss, that peace is stronger than any storm. And as you go, you will see, wherever your feet step, that place will begin to shine. My beloved one, you have been affirmed. Carry this light, not to take up space, but to show the way. Walk with a humble heart and eyes full of trust, and in every breath, remind yourself, I am not walking alone. The light is within me, and He is the light of my life. And, beloved child, when the light within you has settled, when peace is no longer something you chase, but something that flows naturally from your heart, a call begins to rise. It is not loud or urgent, but soft as a breeze through the evening garden, a call from an opening gate. Deep inside, you know this is the moment. It is no longer a time of waiting or preparing, but a time of stepping forward. That gate is not a physical door, but a state of being. It is not before your eyes, but within your soul. When you feel both calm and expectant, when you cannot see what's ahead but trust anyway, that is when heaven opens its gate. Not everyone hears this call, for it is reserved for those ready to believe without seeing, to move without guarantees. My beloved child, the gate that opens before you is not meant to lead you to an easier place, but to draw you into a deeper realm of life. Every step you take through it will be a step of trust. There will be new things, new faces, new paths you have never known, but do not be afraid, for when heaven opens a gate, God does not merely open a way, He walks with you upon it. Pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel the movement unfolding around you. Everything outside may seem still, yet within you stirs a living current of divine energy. It is the flow of grace. It moves neither quickly nor loudly, but with quiet strength and certainty. It is leading you out of the old place, the place of waiting, fear, and doubt, into the new, where faith becomes action, and action becomes a song of obedience. Some gates open only for a moment, and only those brave enough to cross will see what lies beyond. God opens gates not for you to observe, but to step through. If you stand still and only gaze, the gate will close, and that lesson will wait for another season. My child, do not hesitate. Do not wait until you feel ready or strong enough. Heaven does not seek perfection, it seeks obedience. A single, wholehearted yes can alter the entire course of destiny. Do you remember how for years you prayed, "Lord, please make a way"? Now the way is open, but the first step is still yours to take. Many stop at prayer, yet never walk into the answer. Be different. Believe that if God has opened the way, He will also keep you. If He has called you, He will walk beside you. The open gate does not require a map, only faith. You will see that when you dare to step, the ground beneath you becomes firm. Each step forward is no longer sustained by your own strength, but by the promises of God. The winds may blow, and your heart may tremble, but remember, you do not walk alone. Michael goes before you, clearing the path ahead, and thousands of angels surround you, softly singing the song of courage. Be strong, chosen one. Ahead lies the promised land. This calling is not only leading you outward but also inward. Before you can open the gate before you, you must open the gate within. Forgive yourself for the doubts, for the weakness. Release the guilt that has held you captive. God does not ask you to pay for your mistakes. He asks you to rise and move forward. No one can step into a new gate while still bound to the old. When the gate opens, many things will begin to shift. Old companions may leave, new ones will arrive. Certain doors will close abruptly, but do not fear, this is the meeting point between the plan you know and the one God is writing. If He closes, it is to protect. If He opens, it is to guide. Every change is a sign that heaven is at work. And then you will see, what once held you back was never the lack of opportunity, but the lack of courage to believe you were worthy. Yet today, heaven wants you to know you do not need to be worthy by the standards of men. You only need to be chosen, and you are chosen. Chosen to bear light, to awaken faith, to speak words of life. Not because you are good enough, but because grace is more than enough. Imagine the gate as a frame of light. As you draw near, every burden begins to fall away. Fear, doubt, insecurity, regret. Step by step, you grow lighter, until only a heart of trust remains. Then you cross over. There is no thunder, no fireworks, only a gentle breeze and a peace so deep that tears fall from your eyes. That is the sign you have truly crossed the threshold. On the other side, nothing seems different at first glance, yet everything within you changes. You no longer feel ruled by circumstance, but find yourself standing in the current of divine will. Even the smallest events begin to unfold in a mysterious order. You meet the right people at the right time. Your words carry weight. Your thoughts are echoed by signs around you. All of it flows from one simple word, yes. My child, on this journey there will be moments when you feel alone. But do not mistake solitude for abandonment. It is sacred separation. God sets you apart not to forsake you, but to prepare you. He is shaping you in the quiet so that when He brings you into the light, you will not be shaken by the noise. Cherish the silent hours, for it is there that His voice becomes clearest. When you step through the gate, you do not enter a land already built, you enter a land promised. There will be things you must build, things you must believe, and perhaps even things you must lose. Yet know this, there is no true loss in heaven's journey, only exchange. God takes away what is temporary to give what is eternal. He removes the small so He can place the greater in your hands. Keep gratitude as your compass. Gratitude steadies you between triumph and trial. When all goes well, gratitude keeps you humble. When things grow difficult, gratitude keeps you peaceful. Every "Thank you, Lord" is a step confirming that you are on the right path. And with each breath of thankfulness, heaven opens another door. This gate does not open for you alone. As you pass through, you create a path for others to follow. The light within you becomes an invitation for those still standing on the other side, hesitating as you once did. God will use your story to prove that He forgets no one. Each time you share it, you send out a signal of hope. If fear ever grips your heart, remember you do not walk alone. You move within an unseen procession of souls who have gone before you, those who believed without seeing, who heard the call in the wind and answered with courage. Now, you are part of that sacred company. The gate has opened, and behind you lies the past. Before you lies destiny. So, my beloved one, walk on. Do not look down to see if you are strong enough. Look up to remember who leads you. Let faith be your feet. As you move, the ground will form beneath each step. Every stride sends a sound into the unseen realm, and that sound declares, the chosen one has crossed over. One day, you will look back and see that every fear was an illusion. You will understand that what you feared most, uncertainty, was the greatest gift, for it forced you to lean entirely on God. And in that surrender, you will realize you were never lost, you were being led. My child, the call was never sent to the wrong soul. It has found you, and now there is no reason to delay. Do not fear the next step, for every step has already been prepared. You do not need light for the whole path, only enough for today's step. Walk, believe, and let heaven do the rest. When you look up at the sky tonight and see a star shining brighter than the rest, know that it is the sign of the open gate. And when the breeze brushes past, smile, for it is the whisper of God saying, "Now go, my child. I am with you." Beloved one, since the moment you crossed the gate of grace, everything around you has begun to change in ways the mind cannot explain. Events that once seemed small now carry deep meaning. A passing word, a brief encounter, even a single glance, all appear divinely arranged. This is the season of sacred intersections, where God weaves your story with invisible threads. You no longer walk alone, for around you angels are moving, guiding, guarding, and preparing the way for the glory that is coming. Each step you take now is the step of one escorted by light. Sometimes you will not recognize them by form or by word, but by feeling a sudden peace, a warmth that rises from no known source, or a gentle whisper stirring within your heart. That is when an angel touches your soul. Michael, the commander of light, walks ahead of you, wielding an invisible sword to cut away what binds and to clear the path you have not yet seen. He does not speak loudly, yet his energy is like an underground river, quiet but powerful, and when the time comes, it will surge and carry you forward. When you feel a sudden urge to act, to speak, or to stop, though you cannot explain why, it is not coincidence. It is the call of divine guidance, and your soul has become sensitive enough to hear it. Every encounter in this season carries purpose. Not everyone who arrives is meant to stay, but all who cross your path bring a piece of the greater picture. Some come to awaken, some to give, and others to test the depth of your heart. Heaven sends people who mirror what you are learning. If you are learning patience, you will meet those who demand it. If you are learning love, you will face those who are hard to love. Do not blame, do not fear, for every soul appearing now is a teacher in the classroom of grace. When you see through that light, nothing feels meaningless. Even those who hurt you are messengers, sent to open new understanding of compassion. You will begin to notice divine coincidences, repeated numbers, songs that play at the perfect moment, prayers answered not through events, but through people. God speaks in the language of signs, and angels are the ones who deliver them. They place little markers along your way, a word, an image, a coincidence, so you will know you are still on the right path. Michael often says, "Heaven does not send maps, but it does send a compass." And that compass is peace. When you are within God's will, even without seeing the destination, your heart feels settled. But if confusion, anxiety, or unrest arise, it is the signal to pause and listen again for guidance from above. Amid these sacred intersections, you may feel your soul stretching as though God Himself is enlarging your inner space to hold something greater. Those days may be weary or lonely, but do not misunderstand them. Heaven's silence is not absence. It is the moment when He rearranges the heavens to prepare what is about to pour down. Trust that when nothing seems to be happening, everything is being aligned. The angels are tirelessly at work, moving people, timing, and circumstances, so that when grace arrives, it will come perfectly on time. My child, the most precious thing you can guard now is the purity of your heart. The frequency of angels connects only with a spirit that is humble and trusting. Do not let doubt distort the signal. Each morning when you wake, whisper, "Lord, still my mind that I may hear you." And throughout the day, whenever you feel a nudge to message someone, to go somewhere, or simply to pause and pray, obey it. Those promptings are signals from heaven. No act is too small when it is led by the Holy Spirit. Michael says that not every crossing will be gentle. There will be places where you must face darkness, not to fear it, but to affirm the power of light within you. Each time you stand in chaos yet remain peaceful, you win an unseen battle. Each time you choose love over resentment, the angels rejoice. They celebrate whenever your soul steps beyond an old boundary, because they know the farther one walks in light, the brighter the world becomes. You are not only being guided, you are being trained to become a guide yourself. Let gratitude become your language with heaven. When you give thanks, the angels hear. When you are grateful, they move faster. No prayer is more powerful than the simple words, "Thank you, Lord, for I believe good is coming." That is the declaration of faith, the key that unlocks every door. Be grateful not only for what is pleasant, but for what is puzzling, for sometimes blessings are wrapped in difficulty. When you give thanks even for what you do not yet understand, you are proving that you trust heaven's plan more than your emotions. As you go deeper, you will see more holy coincidences. Someone will speak exactly what you were thinking. An opportunity will appear just as you prayed. A door will open the moment you release control and trust. These are the moments when angels are stitching the pieces of your life story together. Every detail fits perfectly in their hands. And you will know it is not that you are forcing things to happen, but that things are happening because you have believed. Along this journey, you will also notice that your inner voice changes. It no longer shouts in worry but speaks in clarity and calm. That is the voice intertwined with the Spirit. When you pray, your words no longer just rise to heaven, they ripple through the sacred field around you. Each prayer is a spark of light, and when enough of them gather, they form a radiant path the angels use to lead you onward. No prayer is wasted, even when you do not yet see its answer. It is already illuminating the road ahead. If at times you feel lost, remember this: the angels are still there, you only need to pause. They cannot enter through the noise of fear, but they always stay near, waiting for the moment you grow quiet enough to hear them. They never force, only invite. So, learn to slow down not only in your steps but in your thoughts. Every calm breath is an open invitation for the angels to draw closer. My child, you are living in a time when everything seems both real and dreamlike. Do not try to explain it all. Simply enjoy the process of being guided, for there is nothing safer than letting the Creator hold your hand. And when you find yourself meeting the right person, in the right place, at the right moment, smile, for you will know it is a sacred intersection written into the plan from the very beginning. Each day whisper, "Lord, let me recognize your hand in every small thing." Then you will begin to see that everything around you, from the falling rain to the smile of a stranger, to the melody of a song, becomes the language of God's love for you. And in those small things, you will realize heaven is not far away. It is unfolding all around you, moment by moment. Go on, my child. Your steps now do more than carry you forward, they carry light. Everywhere you go, that energy is planted like seeds. Others will feel peace without knowing why. They will see something in you that makes them want to live better, to believe again. And then you will understand. You are not only walking with the angels, you are becoming a messenger of light yourself. My beloved, when your soul awakens and you begin to walk in light, you will face a subtler challenge than any before: to keep the frequency of peace amid a restless world, to hold stillness within while the outside world roars, to hear the voice of God among the countless voices of life. That is the discipline of quiet, the most silent yet most powerful path to sustain the soul's communion with heaven. Quietness does not mean absolute silence, nor retreat from the world. It is an inner state unshaken by what happens outside. It is where the soul stands firm, even when emotions rise, where faith remains steady, even when nothing seems clear. You see, there are storms that cannot be stopped, but if you keep peace within, the storm cannot sweep you away. That peace does not come from effort, but from continual connection with God. Like a branch that remains attached to the vine, as long as you stay connected to Him, you will not wither. The world will try everything to pull you out of that frequency through fear, through busyness, through the sweet temptations of applause and praise. But you must learn to choose silence over reaction, to listen before you speak, to walk slowly rather than rush with the crowd. The discipline of quiet is knowing when to pause to hear again the beating of your own heart and God's voice within it. Whenever your heart trembles, take a deep breath and remember, my peace I give to you, not as the world gives. My child, quietness is not weakness. It is the strength of souls refined by fire. People may think the strong are those who speak loudly or act quickly, but true strength belongs to those who know how to stop, to observe, to pray, to wait for guidance. You will see that when you begin to slow down, heaven's arrangements become clearer. You will recognize what He calls you to do and what He asks you to let go of. For stillness is the frequency of heaven, and only when you dwell in it can you hear the true direction of your soul. Each morning, before stepping into the world, take a few minutes to return to that frequency. Sit still, breathe slowly, and whisper, Lord, calm my heart so I can hear you. When you do this consistently, your mind will gradually become like a still lake, and when the lake is still, it reflects the sky. Only in stillness can you clearly see the image of heaven within your own soul. There will be days when you feel your energy drained, not because you have done too much, but because you have given too much without returning to the source. In those moments, do not try harder. Rest. Quietness is also an action. It is a sacred surrender to the rhythm of God, your way of saying, I do not need to control everything, I only need to dwell in you. In that very pause, heaven begins to move. God does not need your striving, He needs your yielding, so that He may act. The discipline of stillness is also the art of guarding the gates, the eyes, the ears, and the mouth. Every day, countless streams of energy and information pass through you. If you are not watchful, the trivial will take the place of peace. Choose carefully what you look at, what you listen to, and what you speak. Do not let your eyes be filled with dark images, nor your ears be drowned in complaints, nor your mouth scatter bitter seeds. For what you allow through these gates will determine the atmosphere of your soul. When you choose purity, peace becomes your natural breath. My child, remember that stillness is not a state but a way of life. It requires discipline, practice, and love. Whenever you feel your peace slipping away, return to it through 3 breaths. Inhale, you are here. Hold, I belong to you. Exhale, lead me. These 3 breaths are enough to align you with the frequency of heaven, where all chaos dissolves, and only the gentle light of presence remains. When you sustain this frequency, you will notice that everything feels lighter. What once burdened you will no longer hold weight. Those who once wounded you will awaken compassion instead of pain. You will come to understand that all things are unfolding in a higher rhythm. God does not ask you to react, He only asks you to trust. And when you choose peace over conflict, you allow heaven itself to fight on your behalf. Yet, know this, there will be days when your peace is tested. There will be moments when the world's noise feels overwhelming and you think you've lost that divine rhythm. Do not fear. Grace does not disappear, it simply retreats so you may learn to seek it again. Each time that happens, return to simple practices. Read the Word, give thanks, pray, and be silent. Peace will come back like a soft wind. It does not come from outside, but from the deep well within your soul, where God dwells. The discipline of stillness is also the art of speaking less and praying more. In a world full of noise, silence becomes the strongest language. When you are silent, the voice of God grows clearer. Some matters need no discussion, only surrender. Some people need no argument, only trust. Stillness teaches you to see everything through the light of grace. not through the reaction of emotion. My child, the stillness you cultivate today is the very ground where God will plant tomorrow's blessings. He cannot sow seeds in trembling soil. When your heart is quiet, He can place ideas, plans, and revelations within it. In those silent hours, He will speak what you need to know for the path ahead. And you will realize that peace is not merely the result, it is the condition for miracles to begin. If one day you feel the world demands too much, remember, God never asked you to carry it all. He only asks that you remain in Him. Choose stillness as your refuge. When the world roars around you, return to the small room within your heart where you can whisper, "Lord, I am here." That single phrase is enough to slow your heartbeat, to summon the angels around you, to shift the very air you breathe, for stillness is the doorway through which miracles enter, holding heaven's frequency. Amid the rhythm of life is also the practice of gratitude in every small moment. As you wash dishes, as you drive, as you work, let gratitude soak into your every movement. Whisper softly within, "Thank you, Lord, for I am alive, I am breathing, I am loved." Gratitude turns labor into prayer, ordinary days into holy moments, and the world itself into an altar of grace. When you live in that rhythm of gratitude, peace cannot leave you because you are singing in harmony with heaven. My beloved child, you will come to see that stillness does not separate you from the world. It teaches you to love it rightly. When your heart is at peace, you can listen without judgment, love without possession, help without pride. Stillness gives you new eyes, eyes that see others through the light of God, not as they are, but as He envisions them to become. And in that way of seeing, you yourself become an instrument of healing. One day, you will understand that maintaining peace is not a small victory, but the greatest triumph of all. For when you can hold on to peace, nothing can steal your joy anymore. Circumstances may change, but you remain steady, because your source of peace does not lie in people or things, but in the one who never changes. When you reach that point, the world may roar, yet you will still hear the voice of God. Storms may rise, yet you will still see the way. Darkness may thicken, yet the light within you will not fade. Remember this, my child. Peace is not a reward for the perfect, but a gift for the faithful. And being faithful does not mean never trembling, it means continuing to believe even while trembling. Trust that every day you choose stillness, you are placing another stone in the temple of your soul. One day, when you look back, you will see that it was in those quiet hours you were transformed more deeply than through any sermon or miracle. My beloved child, the discipline of stillness is the art of those who know they are not meant to control life, but simply to tune their frequency to the rhythm of heaven. When you stay in that rhythm, nothing can make you lose your direction, for the voice of God is always speaking, sometimes like a breeze, sometimes like a whisper, but always enough to remind you that He is near. And when a long season of waiting has passed, when the prayers once sown in silence begin to bloom, you will know that harvest time has come. No longer will there be days of sowing in tears, but a time of reaping in joy. No longer nights that feel as if God does not hear, but mornings when you realize He has been preparing everything quietly. This is the glorious harvest, the moment when heaven's promises are no longer words of comfort, but living realities in your life. This harvest does not arrive by surprise. It is the result of every faithful drop of sweat, every breath of prayer, every moment you chose to stand firm, though you saw nothing. The seeds you have sown of trust, gratitude, love, and patience now rise stronger than you ever imagined. Heaven never forgets anyone's season of sowing. Everything you have given, every word you have whispered, all have been held in God's hand, and now He opens the storehouse of blessings to return them to you in abundance. But, my child, when miracles begin to manifest, do not quickly assume that all hardship is over. The harvest season is not only a time of receiving, but also a time of learning to steward grace. Blessing is a gift, but stewardship is a responsibility. If you do not keep balance, even what is good can cause you to lose your way. Therefore, step into this season with humility. Remember that what you hold now is not the result of your effort alone, but the work of God's hand. You are the steward of the blessing, not its owner. Many pray for miracles, but not everyone has the strength to carry them. A miracle is not only a grace, but also a test of humility. When prayers are answered, the human heart easily lifts itself up and forgets the days it once knelt in tears. That is why God reminds you, when you step into abundance, do not forget the source. Let gratitude become the fence around your soul, so that no arrow of pride may pierce it. Michael says, when blessings pour forth, keep your spirit like a vessel without a lid. Do not hold too tightly, yet do not let it spill wastefully. A vessel with a lid will choke, but one opened rightly will be continually filled. So it is with blessing, it continues to flow only when you let it pass through you. If you cling to it too long, it will stop. But if you share it, the flow will never end. Learn to let the blessing pour through you, not stop at you. In the season of harvest, you will see doors opening with ease, the right people finding their way to you, and the things that once felt distant suddenly becoming close. Everything begins to align as if it had been orchestrated long ago, and indeed, it has. Heaven never acts randomly. Every blessing is sent at the precise moment you are mature enough to carry it. If it had come too early, it might have made you prideful. But now, after years of being refined through fire and tears, you carry enough grace to hold it well. Yet do not think that blessings are always wrapped in comfort. Sometimes, blessings wear the form of responsibility, a new position, a deeper relationship, a broader calling, all of which require you to grow within. Some things come as gifts, but they also demand that you mature enough to sustain them. Treat every blessing as a seed. If you tend to it well, it will grow into a garden. If you neglect it, it will wither away. My child, when grace manifests, remember 3 things: humility to keep it, awareness to stay on course, and gratitude to remain full. Humility reminds you that all glory belongs to God. Awareness helps you discern the challenges hidden beneath ease. Gratitude keeps you flowing in the frequency of miracles. Each time you give thanks, you reaffirm that you are not the source of blessing, you are merely the vessel through which it flows. You will notice that as blessings increase, the world begins to watch you more closely. Some will admire you, some will envy you, and some will test you. But do not let any gaze alter your nature. Heaven does not need you to prove your favor. It needs you to live it out with kindness. When you are exalted yet remain gentle, that is when your light shines brightest. People will not only see your success, they will see God in the way you treat others. In this harvest season, there will also be peculiar trials, not as punishment, but as reminders to stay awake. There will be days when blessings seem to slow. Do not panic. That is when God invites you to pause and examine whether you love the blessing more than the one who blessed you. If you return with gratitude, the flow resumes. But if you cling to the result, the river stills. For grace is not a stream you control, it is a river that follows divine direction. My beloved, use your blessings wisely. Do not use them to draw attention to yourself, but to illuminate others. Do not use them to build walls, but to build bridges. When God blesses you abundantly, He intends for you to become a channel of blessing. A word of comfort, a helping hand, a gentle act of kindness, these are all forms of giving back. Blessings do not decrease when you share them, they multiply. Like seeds, only when sown do they grow. Every time you give, you are declaring to heaven, I believe your storehouse never runs dry, and because of that faith, God continues to pour more. Michael says to you, when you can live among blessings and still keep a grateful heart, you have passed the greatest test. The greatest trial of blessing is not scarcity, it is abundance. Many stand firm in lack but stumble in plenty. Yet you, my child, are called to be different. You are chosen not only to receive but to steward. That means using all that God has given you with wisdom, righteousness, and humility. When you use blessings rightly, they become legacy. When you misuse them, they become burden. Learn to keep balance between giving and receiving. Each evening, look back on your day and ask yourself, how have I used grace today? Not to condemn yourself, but to realign. Living consciously in this way makes you a partner with heaven in managing divine favor, and that partnership makes God trust you with more. One day, when you look back, you will understand that true miracles are not only what happened to you, but how you live after they happen. Some are healed but forget to give thanks. Some walk through open doors but forget humility. But the one who truly understands grace is the one who uses their life to glorify the giver. When you live that way, you cease to be merely a receiver of blessings, you become a bearer of them. And my beloved child, know this, the glorious harvest does not end with shouts of triumph, but with a bowed head in worship. When you behold all that God has done, when the promises are fulfilled before your eyes, you will find yourself unable to do anything but fall to your knees and whisper, Lord, you are so good. In that moment your tears will no longer be born of sorrow, but of pure gratitude, for you will understand that it was not your strength that brought you here, but His faithfulness. He never forgets what He has promised. Enter this season with a light heart. Do not fear losing. Do not try to control. Do not cling. Simply live within the flow of grace, faithful, humble, and thankful. When you do, you will see that blessings are no longer scattered waves but a vast ocean surrounding you. And you will swim freely in it, unafraid of sinking, for that water is the very love of God. My dear child, enjoy the harvest, but remember that this season is only the beginning of a greater mission. Every blessing you receive is not just for your joy, but to carry that joy to others. And as you share, heaven opens again into a new cycle, sowing, waiting, reaping, and sowing once more. This divine rhythm never ceases, because true blessings never run out. Loving Father, I thank you that today my soul is called by its true name. I believe nothing happens by chance, and the fact that I am reading these words is proof that heaven is moving on my behalf. Teach me to pause, to open my heart, and to listen. Let me recognize that every breath I take carries your energy, the light that is rewriting my story. Archangel Michael, cover me with your radiant shield. When I choose peace in the midst of trial, let that choice open the door of blessings you have long prepared. Pour over me a fresh stream of light that dissolves every hindrance. I believe what I have prayed for has already begun its journey. The blessing bearing my name is on its way, and you will not be late by even a single moment. Lord God, help me to see that this is not a random instant, but a divinely appointed time within your perfect plan. I stand at the threshold between old and new, where every delay turns into divine alignment. Grant me eyes of faith to see that every night I have wept was never wasted. Archangel Michael, touch my life with the strength of peace. Turn the energy around me from slow to swift, from delay to divine flow. Let me walk in the light, confident that every promise you have spoken is becoming real, not tomorrow, but now. Lord, when the world demands my reaction, I choose stillness. When others test me, I choose peace. Please remember this small decision and turn it into the key that unlocks heaven's gate. O Archangel Michael, cover me with your golden halo. When I am silent, let your voice speak for me. When I am misunderstood, let grace reveal my heart. Dissolve every dark energy and set me firm in holy love. I do not seek human justice, but trust in the justice of heaven, Lord, I believe no tear is ever meaningless. Every long night I have endured, every whispered prayer I have breathed, you have remembered. Let today be the day you answer. Give me a sign that the new season has begun. Michael, drive away from me every spirit of delay, every voice of doubt. Open the path I must walk, and let the long closed doors burst open as a sign that heaven has heard. I will stay, I will listen, I will believe until the miracle becomes real in my life. Lord, I do not need more proof, yet my soul longs for a sign. Let me know that the promise you once spoke over my life is nearer than ever before. When I feel a sudden shiver or warmth rising in my chest, help me recognize it as heaven's greeting. O Michael, pour down the confirming energy of heaven that I may understand nothing has been lost. Every effort I have made is bearing fruit. Help me trust until the end, for that faith itself is the gate through which miracles are born. Father, I have waited, I have believed, I have wept, and today I only want to say, let me see you. If today is the day when heaven declares it is enough, then let my soul find rest in that truth. Michael, lift from me the burden of waiting. Let the current of miracles begin to flow. As I read these words, may everything in the unseen realm realign because of me. I am no longer standing outside the blessing, I am stepping into it breath by breath. Lord, when I look back upon the silent days, I see that you were there. That silence was not absence, but preparation. Help me not to fear the dark, for your light is always greater. Archangel Michael, keep the sword of your light beside me. Guard my soul against hurtful words, against the energies of envy and doubt. Help me to believe that every shadow only serves as the backdrop for the radiance of God's glory to shine brighter than ever. Lord, I have sown many seeds that I thought had died. Today I believe you are watering them. Let the tears of yesterday become the rain of blessing. Michael, grant me joy as I see the work of my hands restored. The things that seemed ended are opening again. Help me recognize that no seed is forgotten, no effort wasted. The harvest is coming, and my name is written upon it. Kind Father, I feel your peace returning to my heart. After all the storms, the sea is calm again. Teach me to rest in this stillness without fear. Michael, stand guard before the door of my heart. When the world tries to pull me back into chaos, remind me that God's peace does not depend on circumstances. Close every door of fear and open the door of faith, that I may know everything past is working toward the goodness to come. Father, I thank you, for you do not punish me through trials, you train me through them. Every wound is a lesson, every scar a witness of redemption. Help me release what no longer serves my soul. Michael, cut away every tie that once held me captive, fear, guilt, and old memories. Set my spirit free in the light. As I say, yes today, let heaven answer, it is finished. Lord, help me remember that your timing is never wrong. If I am still here, it means the story is not over. Teach me not to rush, not to skim past, but to be fully present in the sacred unfolding. Michael, let me hear your new calling, a call not loud, but deep, like water flowing in stillness. Show me the path that leads me to the place of grace, where I no longer have to chase anything, for what belongs to me is already finding its way. Lord, breathe new life into my soul. Let all that is old and heavy be renewed in your light. Restore the faith, the hope, and the love I once lost. Michael, restore my energy. Cleanse me from every vibration that has kept me tied to the past. Help me step into this new season with courage. I know heaven has already begun its movement, and I am walking in rhythm with it. Heavenly Father, I ask for a sign of grace. Though it may be small, let me recognize it as the voice of heaven, a familiar name, a repeated number, or simply a deep, quiet peace within. Michael, when I see that sign, help me not to doubt, but to bow in gratitude. Let me know that you have never forgotten me, and that the miracle I have been waiting for has already been sealed with my name. Let my soul respond with these words: I believe, and I know you are working. Lord, teach me to believe before I see. When my human eyes